Hello, everybody. It is Deanna of toolsofenergyprotection.com and For Heaven's Sake Book in Denver. Welcome, everybody. I know I'm dragging a little bit of tail tonight. It is March 20th, 2024. Welcome, everybody. And let's just take a nice deep breath to get this evening started as the Instagram and the Facebook started putting out messages saying we're live. And I do apologize for being a little bit on the later side tonight. Lots to do. And I wanted to talk to you about um, harnessing the energy for clarity. Okay. Healing past wounds and setting the course for the future. I want to talk to you a little bit about what's happening on the planet and give you an Akashic record reading for the collective consciousness for the week. If you enjoy this, I'm going to ask you to share it on Instagram or share it on Facebook with a friend and just say, hey, this is Deanna and she's got some information about what's happening on our planet at this time in history. So give her a listen. Anyway, I will be for those of you that enjoy seeing me in person, I will be at For Heaven's Sake Book in Denver, Colorado. If you're here on their page, there's an address right over here. And if you're on the Instagram, just drop me a message if you can't find it in Google. And the same thing over here on my personal Facebook page. So what's happening, everybody? How many of you out there can give me a woot woot? I'm so exhausted from the last 2 weeks. Woot woot. And how many of you thumbs up, and there we go. Woohoo! I'm loving it over here on Instagram. They're giving me the fireworks. So, it's spring break for a lot of people when their kiddos are home and our schedules are shifting. We've had a time change for those of us in the time change zones. So we're feeling a little bit tired, trying to catch up with that. And then all the craziness in the world. Have you seen the news? Oh my goodness. So I'm going to do a little I'm going to do as best I can to keep this as user friendly as possible. But I want to tell you about the craziness that's currently going on in the world scene. As you know, the news media and all these other things, put out stuff for us to read and eat and digest and believe. And it just amazes me how our media now is telling us, at least in the States, two different stories at the same time. So, whatever it is you're following or watching, just notice, because I noticed an article, this is pretty safe. I noticed an article one week that was denying UFOs and alien activity, on this planet. And then almost 2 to 3 days later, it was saying that we had alien activity on our planet, and these were two pretty popular newspapers, pretty well-renowned, world-renowned newspapers. And so it's like, well, which is it, this one or this one? So you're going to see an increase in that coming up as we approach here. For those of my peeps that follow me here in the U.S., you're going to see more of that as the presidential election comes up. So just be ready for it, whether you're for or against, just watch it, stand back, and know that, there's going to be a lot of stuff said and retracted and, just a bunch of stuff. So unplug yourself as much as you can and be an observer and watch, and let that happen as it may, because there's going to be a lot of it. So 2024, I had predicted would be choices of twos, and people say, oh, there's always two choices. Well, no. What I'm saying is two is a distinction between this way or this way, and there's no middle ground. And so generally in this planet, in this universe, we have middle ground choices. And I'm letting you know that 2024 you're going to see a lot of things where there's two major choices, two major camps. It's either left or it's right, and there's very little middle ground. And that's going to take us through the rest of 2024. There are some planetary shifts and alignments right now, which I'm sure you can Google and look up. And I don't, astrology is not my area of expertise, but I do look at it and watch it because it does have a reflection on the electromagnetic frequency in our bodies on this planet, which includes our minds and shifting our emotions. So that's the science of astrology. All right, so let's talk about the spring equinox. How many of you out there are like, woohoo, time to plant? And hopefully the bulbs you planted last year are springing up. And those of you with maybe allergy issues are like, not so much. But, how many of you are ready to embrace what's happening in 2024 and make it really good instead of the trauma drama it has been? Oh, look, I got some hearts over here. Any thumbs up over here? No thumbs up over here. How about over here? Have we got any thumbs up going on over here? Oh, there's a couple of them. So you're ready. So let's take a look at what's going on that's good. We talked a little bit, just a little bit, about the trauma drama and what might not be so popular right at the moment. So the spring equinox is a very interesting time because it is a celebration of life coming back out because we've had the winter. And so, the plants start to grow, the trees start to grow, the grass starts to grow. And so this is a time to really go deep within yourself and see what you've been in denial about up until now that's causing you issues in your life. Because what I was just talking to my students about last week, or actually earlier this week, is when you look in your Akashic records, which is the record of your life, this life and other timelines, there's energies in there that repeat because either you haven't learned the lesson or you haven't moved on for it or graduated, and so you're stuck. And so in the springtime, if you visualize a seed, just a second, it's telling me my story broadcast is not going on. There it is. Okay. If you imagine this is a seed and this is the soil over it, well, during this time we get a lot of rain and we get a lot of heat, and that brings your seed to start to open up this little part of itself, and then it begins to sprout and you can see it above the dirt. Well, if there's a rock on top of that seed will try to come over to the edge of the rock or come up, or it won't get what it needs and it won't grow. So I'd like for you to think about in yourself what's not been growing over the last year. Where are you stuck emotionally? Are you repeating the same pattern over and over again? And if you're like, oh, that's me, I'm stuck, I can't seem to move forward financially, or I feel like I'm moving backward financially, or I've lost a job, can't seem to find a way to earn income, then there is most likely not only a behavioral pattern here in your current life, but there's some from other lifetimes. And sometimes it's from ancestors that we learn behavioral patterns. So when that happens and you are ready to break free and you're like, Deanna, I am so ready to be done with this, that is when you come to see me in person at For Heaven's Sake Book in Denver. And if you're like, oh, I wish I could, but I live in Kentucky or I live in Tennessee or Missouri, all you do is call 303-964-9339. That's 303-964-9339. And you book an appointment. And you tell them on the phone you'd like to do it on Zoom so we can see each other, or the phone. It's very easy. And then what we're going to do is we will discover what is it energetically and emotionally and spiritually that's hanging you up, that's holding you back from being able to spring forward into the most beautiful time of the year to express joy in your life. So if you're having some challenges in that direction, let's get started. And I will be there Thursday and Friday, and then my schedule fills up pretty fast. So I can only see like 5 people on Thursday and a few more on Saturday. So you want to get on that. We just, at For Heaven's Sake Book, they just got a new booking system that is amazingly easy. So if you've ever tried to book an appointment in the past, and you're like, is it Denver? Is it Applewood? Is it this? Don't worry. Now you can clearly go over there, very easy to navigate. They give you options of half hour, hour and a half, 2 hour appointments right online. It is so easy to use. So get over there and get your spot before they all fill up, okay? I didn't look at my schedule tonight before I got on, so I'm not sure how full it is already. But we can get that done for you. We'll look at your records. We'll transmute that energy, basically whatever's holding you back, or that big rock that's on top of you, we're going to move it so that it's possible for you to move through and to claim your life back. And who couldn't use that? Okay, before I talk a little bit more about harnessing the energy that comes with the equinox, which I just alluded to, let's see who we've got in the chat. And over here on my Facebook page, I have a couple of thumbs up, a couple of hearts, so hello to everybody over there. And then here on the Facebook page, I have Christina. Hi, Christina. Good evening. And Lena. Oh, Lena, it's so good to see you. Cheryl. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. Big hearts to you, too. And who's over on Instagram? We have, let's see. Oh, my goodness. We have Callie. Hey, Callie. It's so good to see you. Chelsea. Callie says she's on fire. Hey, Donna. Good to see you. Cassandra. Let's see here. Let's see, and Cassandra said she'd like to get a reading. Cassandra, I'm going to do the collective consciousness, and then we'll do that, and then hi to Miss Funk over there. So anyway, okay. So spring equinox. If you've been depressed, if you've been like totally, completely exhausted and feeling an overwhelm, now is the time to draw your energy in, get the rest that you need, take care of yourself. And if you have a lot of people depending on you, get them to be able to take care of themselves. Okay? Get them in a position where they can help themselves. That's it, period. Then you draw in that energy. Little seeds right now, they're drawing in the sunlight because the earth is getting warm. They're drawing in the water and the nutrients to get ready to grow. This is your time to use the energies, the planetary alignments to move yourself forward. So you're going to draw your energy in first. All right. Once you have that energy drawn in, then for clarity, ooh, one of my angels just came by. I felt them touch me. Then for clarity, what you're going to do is you're going to say, what is it that I want for the rest of the year? Thank you for the hearts. What do I really want? What messed me up in the past that I don't want? And where am I headed? And if you're not sure where you're headed or what your life purpose is, that's something else. We can look into your current Akashic records and see what you brought with you to do in this life. So then you can go, oh, okay, here's my tools and what I'm doing, and I can move forward. And then it is also time to heal the past wounds. So for a while, I suffered denial. And I was like, oh, yeah, that didn't hurt. No, I'm doing good. And one of the things I'd like to share with you is the words people say. So back in the Depression era, people would tell you, you got to keep going, get up, dust it off. It didn't hurt, because they had to survive. And then you come up through, like the 50s and the 60s, and you come on up, and the saying was, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Think about that for a minute. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Whoever thought of that? Seriously, I want you to question that. Because what's that telling you, what that is telling you is if you have been treated badly, put down, abused, and you're saying, yeah, I don't think so, that's not right, we're not doing this, like a lot of the 30-year-old people I've met do these days, where they stand up for themselves and are like, yeah, that doesn't work for me, for you all. Some of us are a little older, we weren't allowed to do that. And they'd say, hey, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. No, whatever doesn't kill you emotionally causes depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, not loving yourself. If any of you can identify with that, I'm not going to spend long on this subject, but I'd like to hear a shout out or woot woot that you understand what this means, because it is so important pivotively right now for our particular souls and this current environment politically that we're living in globally, is to know that, if something really hurts you, you have to process it. Don't deny it. right? Take some time to heal and take that energy off of you so that you're not getting crippled more and more and more because you're taking so much from other people or situations or triggers. Oh, I got a woot woot. All right. I got another woot woot. All right. Woohoo. Okay. Everybody else, where's my woot woots? Do you understand this? It's the way that we talk about ourselves right now in this time. Good. I got 100% agree over here. In this time, in March 20th, 2024, in this time, it is so important to recognize how you talk. What has your culture taught you? How do you speak about yourself? Because when you speak, listen closely, your body is a vibration or a frequency, okay? It has a vibration. If you take little cells and put them under a microscope, they vibrate, okay? Amoebas, anyway, do. So if you take 2 fingers and put them right here on your throat and you go la, 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 do you feel the vibration? Okay. Your energy field, your torus, your chakras, they're right here, okay? Well, actually, if you put your arms straight out and turn in a circle, that's where they are. But for camera purpose, they're right here. And so when you say something, la, 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 that creates a vibration that your chakras respond to. And if it's, well, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, then you're like, okay, well, I guess I have to put up with it. Now look where your chakras are. Do you think you can take another emotional hit like that? Do you think you can be successful like that? Do you think you can claim your power like that? No. This is what my guides were telling me today was the message for you all, right? I know it's a little odd for Equinox, but this is it. And they said it's time for people, especially empaths, sensitive people, star seeds, to take their power back and realize you are valuable. You are a divine being. You are an aspect of the creator source of all in a human body. Woo! That means whatever you say goes in your energy field. So if you say, I am wonderful, even if you don't believe it, speak it. You speak it enough times, and you're going to begin to transmute your energy and feel better, right? Look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful, I am wonderful, I'm magnificent, woo! Right? You do that and see if you don't smile. If you look at yourself in the mirror and you do what I just suggested and you don't smile, come see me. We need to clear some of that negative energy out of your energy field and give you some peace in your life. All right. So I hope that made sense to you. I'm going to look and see if I have any more comments here real quick, and then we'll get on with the reading. Lisa, hi, good to see you. Let's see. Hi, Amy. I'm so glad you joined us. Jennifer, I love your last name. It's beautiful. Hi, Juliana. Good to see you. Thank you for coming aboard. I know a lot of you I saw at the bookstore a couple weeks ago were telling me how much that you really enjoy the lives, and that is great to know. All right, let's see what we got over here for my beautiful Instagram people. Cassandra, hello. Okay. Angelic Flower, good to see you. Andavilla, good to see you. I am Stephanie. Oh, look, I got some woots and some agrees and some understoods. Great. I can't, Chelsea says, I can't tell you how many times I tell myself that on a regular basis. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to take our power back, people. And let me see, I've got one more little secret to share with you, especially my female listeners. Just a moment. I want to make sure I get the year right. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So, like I said, equinox is a time of gathering your energy, just like the plants do, and getting ready to sprout, and knowing what direction you're headed, and taking your power back. So, here's a little factoid gem for you, and I want you to think about this too as you're walking forward, especially us ladies. Um, the first time in American history that women were allowed to purchase a house on their own signature with no dad or no brother signing for them or with them was 1974. I'm going to leave that right there. All right, moving along. So time to heal past wounds, whether they're cultural past wounds, whether they're your personal past wounds, it is that time. All right, so now I'm going to do an Akashic record reading for the collective consciousness. And we did talk about, harnessing the energy of the equinox. It's taking your power back, gathering your energies in. When I had a small child, I knew that it was challenging for me because I couldn't very well just have her, hey, say you got to take care of yourself now, but limiting the amount of things that I did so that I could, have a little time to myself was helpful. Just means the laundry stacked a little higher, the dishes stacked a little higher, but I was able to do self-care. And there's also somebody's ancestor standing in my office over there. It's interesting when I'm doing these lives, the different spirit beings that will show up in the different places that they show up. All right, a lot going on. So it is a time to heal past wounds, and if you've been denying hurts, don't deny them any longer. Feel the feels. Last week had a self-care day on Saturday, and I did a couple of things, and then I felt exhausted. I took a nap, and I woke up. I was so sad. I just wanted to cry, and I'm like, why am I sad? There was no technical reason, if you will, to be sad. And what I realized is that I was losing a piece of myself through forgiveness. So there's something that I had held on to, a past hurt that somebody had done to me, that had caused a grave wound for many years. And I realized that I was denying that I was holding on to that hurt still. So when you deny that you're holding on to a hurt and you just shove it down, it just festers and it doesn't create a good place for growth. I don't know how many of you've ever gardened out there, but one time I got some animal poo to put in my garden, and I didn't know that you have to let it set a while because it's still acidic. So I put it right into my garden and nothing grew that year. Everything died. So you have to let the manure set for a while before you can put it in your soil. And, when it comes to our emotions, if our emotions, we've stuffed a lot of manure, a lot of poo-poo, it's not good to grow positive things in. And this is definitely a time for you to become more awake, aware of your senses. You see, feel, sense, know things other people don't. There's a whole bunch of you waking up to this reality that you are more than people have led you to believe. So grab onto that power, because now's the time. Okay, so let's do Akashic record reading for, and then I'll look at some personal readings here. Hi, Shelley, good to see you. Okay, oh, good, okay. Yes, Melena. She says, thank you for crossing my path. Good evening, blessings. Thank you, Melena. Mwah. Yeah, thank you so much. You all are the reason that I do these lives. It is a reason that I get up on Tuesdays. Anyway, other than the boss's work. All right, so let's do a reading, and then I'm going to share some positive words with you for Wednesday, March 20th, 2024 to March 26th, 2024. So as you all know, as an Akashic Records reader, I usually use a pendulum, which I don't know what I did with now, probably on my desk somewhere. These pendulums, they have this thing where they like to travel a lot. So here's mine, and I usually use a pendulum and some charts, which are words, written on a page, and then I connect into people, and I read their records. And because that's hard to translate in video, that's why I use these cards. So I could actually do it without anything, but you all like to look at pretty things. Okay. So taking a look at the past, I usually just do 3 cards with a couple of clarifiers. Tonight we have a lot more. So the past, which is interesting, is a unicorn that has a saddle on it called the Seven of Fire. So you can see that the Seven of Fire. Unicorn is elevated up, looks like near the stars, but I think those are little fairies. And so that unicorn is expanding into its future, and it's on fire. Okay, a lot of motivation for us right now. So that's why I said if you're feeling depressed or overwhelmed, gather your energy, because the universe is moving a lot of us spiritually gifted people forward. Lots of us. Okay. And then the present, I love this one. For those of you that don't know, I am a Leo. Leo rising, so I'm a lot to handle. But anyway, this is the Emperor card. And we've got a nice lion on there. You'll notice that he has in his hand his sword, and then his armor on there, looking all regal and kingly and stuff like that. And so up until now, we've been getting in the fire. We've been being encouraged to move forward in our lives. So if you were anything like me, the last 2 weeks, I was extremely exhausted, but I felt like I had so much to do, I didn't have time to be tired. So I did spend one entire day resting and drinking lots of water, and getting good nutritious food. So just be aware of these energies shifting so fast. So if you feel like you've been on fire, a million things to do, time's going really quickly, that started a couple of days ago and still coming into now. It like released when we hit the spring equinox. And then we are being asked to steer our own lives and make our own choices this week. That's the take your power back. See, Leo, take your power back. And then going from so this is going to be for the next couple of days. My guides tell me 2 to 3 days, where we're going to focus on taking our power back, finding out what's wrong, throwing out the trash, taking the rocks off of whatever's trying to grow, and making sure it's getting good fertilization. And then in the future, we're going to have more air, more lift. So you can see this gal right here is getting ready for takeoff. She sees the light, but she hasn't quite taken off yet. She's still got a few gooses, if you will, down there that she's got to deal with. That's our past hurts that we still have to deal with, so that we can then fly more freely. All right, then my guide said to pull more cards. I'm like, okay. So here's a clarification on what's coming up. And again, it's funny because it has the lion on it, and it's strength. I think we had this last week or the week before, strength. So it's going to take courage to change, the C word that I didn't like a lot in my life. The more that you embrace where God's Spirit or Source is taking you, where you're being led to go, where synchronicities are happening, where good things are happening, the more that you're in that space, the more it's going to take strength, because you're going to want to go back to the old behavioral patterns. That's how the human brain is wired. What wires together, what fires together, wires together. So it might take some action steps to get yourself into something new. All right, also for this week, the other card they have me draw, which is going to happen over the next 3 to 4 days, is the messenger of air. Okay, so a lot of things are going to be lifting for you, transforming for you, changing for you. Keep an eyeball on what's changing. Okay, if you have your hand so tightly around something and you're like, I can't let go of this, whatever that is, either you have to be in control all the time, or you got to be a victim all the time, or whatever it is. I know I said the V word, it's not very nice. But whatever you're holding on to, the wind is going to come up and say, bang, and bang your hand against. Turn loose of it, turn loose of it, turn loose of it, so you can move forward into a loving and happy life. And who doesn't want a loving or happy life, right? So Then I had another card they asked me to pull. This is lots of cards tonight. It's a big message. Taking a little bit longer than normal. This one is we're getting lift, but we also need to ground. This is the Six of Earth. So we also need to take some time to ground ourselves, to be present in the moment, which that could be owie, especially if you've been in denial, because the faster you move, the less you have to deny because it's behind you, And then the other one they had me pull, the other two of them, is the Ace of Air. Okay, so we're getting a lot of air, a lot of lift, a lot of spreading our wings. If you notice, this horse is, seemingly in the clouds, but it's got its wings spread. That's the position where, it's going to push down to get the lift. It's got its direction pointed. And then we have the Ace of Water, which is a pearl. Oops, sorry. And when we have that water, that's that beautiful pearl, and you can imagine that being the seed we talked about, and this little seahorse is going to take it. It's precious to it. It's going to take it where it goes. So that precious pearl, ladies and gentlemen, is that you are a beautiful divine being of the creator source of all. You are and have been created by God's spirit source to exist in a universe that will honor you whatever you like. And so many of us have given our power away and we're struggling. So I wanted to share with you something I found in here in a book I've been reading that may give you some uplift. Okay, it says, dear ones, you have the liberty to live your life, and you must grant the others in your life to do the same, or else you will create problems for them and yourself. Here is a great secret. If you really want to feel free yourself, if you really want to free yourself from all types of problems in your mind, body, and your affairs, then emotionally you must release the other people to do their good in their own way. Nothing is ever lost through release. So if you have somebody in your life that's causing you anxiety, let them be. Let them do their own thing. That's them. I got some hearts over here. Thank you for that. And that's from an author named Catherine Ponder, The Prosperity Secret of the Ages book. It's a wonderful read. I've been sharing a lot of this on my reels lately, and you can get a copy of that presently at For Heaven's Sake Book, either in Denver or the Applewood location. It's just has a lot of truth in it. So, all right, I'll take a few questions. So if you've got a question, go ahead and pop it in the feed. I'm going to start on my Facebook page over here. Let's see what we've got. Again, if you need help with this, if you're really struggling, this Friday is Fair Friday. Today is 3/20/2024, so this Friday, a couple days from now, is Fair Friday. So if you're having a budget issue or you just need that extra little, discount, I'm going to be running a spring Equinox festival, so a fair, kind of thing. So if you come see me at the bookstore on Friday, this Friday, it's not all booked. 303-964-9339 or forheavensakebook.com. Click on practitioners, and my name is Deanna. And I'm running a spring equinox special for Fair Friday, and so the sessions normally are $142, and they'll be $90 for the hour. So if you want to jump on that, you go right over there. You can book it tonight. It's 24/7 because it's online. And make sure you get yourself booked, because once they're gone, they're gone. Okay. And especially if you want a half-hour session, because that's the only place I'm doing half hours. Okay. Malena says, I need this so badly. Big hugs to you, Malena. I'm sending you love, and you're welcome. And hi, George, Bill George. good to see you. Hugs to you too, my dear. We've got to talk. I've got some things to share with you. Woohoo! Anyway, let's see who we've got over here on the For Heaven's Sake page. Looks like you all are still out there, but you're quiet. If you wanted to get a reading, well, if you're on here with me live, go ahead and post it here on the For Heaven's Sake book page. Because I don't see anybody requesting a reading. In case I missed you, post it again. And then over here on the gram, let's see what we've got on the gram. Thank you for the hearts over here on the gram. Okay, first person I see that asked for a reading is Chelsea. Okay, Chelsea, I didn't even pull a card, and your guides are coming through, and they're saying 2. And then they're singing a really super old school song, 2 for T and T for 2. And if I'm not mistaken, the song was about a man wanting to have tea with a woman and not anybody else, just like a date. So it seems like you have a date with destiny. There's some things that are showing themselves to you, especially in the area of money. And it's like one is showing you itself more than the other. It's like you want the other one, but this one is showing itself. So make sure that you look where the universe is pointed, because there's a relationship that's showing itself to you. It could be a friend, a girlfriend, somebody just wants to get to know you. Could be your significant other. And then also there's like 2 places that money's coming from in your family, and there's one that's bringing in more that you're not paying attention to. So make sure you do that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close that. Cassandra, 7 of Fire, she loves it. Hi, fellow Leo Cassandra, darling. Okay. And Villa, you're welcome. Cassandra says, does my friend D from New Mexico want a relationship with me? If so, when? Cassandra, there's just a lot of problems there. If you really want a relationship with D in New Mexico, I would have a conversation about where they are in their life, what they're looking for. It just seems like that person is not looking for some of the same things you are. I don't feel like they want more family, or they want more kids, or there's some issues and there's some things that you two just don't match on. So I would have a conversation with them, even if it's, hey, how do you feel about your future? What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? And just kind of see what answers you get. If you get, I don't know, well, then maybe that's not the person you want to be with, because they have no future vision. So that's what it feels like. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Cassandra, thank you for that question. Okay, Chelsea, I hope you got that reading. If you didn't, hit the replay and come to 37 minutes, or 36 minutes, because I did that for you. And I think it's Andrew Villa says, any important messages from my guides? Yes, I hear, don't do things the way you used to. You can't do things the way you used to. That is all. Wow, okay. I hope you understand that, because that's what I got from your guides. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Let's see if I've got any people that have questions over here on my other page. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, Milena says she would like to have a reading too. She's saying that she only has herself to blame in relationships, and it's not so much blaming, but realizing what you put into a relationship, what you've received back, and does that weigh out for you? Are you getting back as much as you're putting in? You got to look at that. Okay. Okay, Melina, there's a guide stepping forward for you. It feels like a grandfather on, wow, it feels like a grandfather on your great-grandmother's side. This goes back quite a ways, Melinda. So it has to do with food choices, wheat, allergies, breaking out of skin, um, I feel like there's some juices or some kind of fruit juice that even you might be getting. You might want to check into cranberry juice, pineapple juices, things that are acidic. Apparently, that's causing skin problems that have passed down through your family. Also, some heart issues, like if you have a lot of anxiety, your heart might pump faster and a lot of things. So you might want to have that checked out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close that one for now. Thank you, Melinda, for your question. All right, let's see who we've got on For Heaven's Sake. Buzz here that might be wanting a reading. Everybody's so sweet tonight and just saying hello. You must be all exhausted like I've been. Uh, uh, Lena, my darling, if you're still there, can you give me some hearts, thumbs ups, or smiles? Okay, Lena, I feel like there's some darker energy around you. Please don't be in fear. If you have any problems, you know how to get a hold of me at the store tomorrow or Friday. But you've got some darker energies around you. It feels like a significant other or a husband, or it's male, and it just feels like whoever that person is, maybe they have depression, anxiety, phobia, something dark that is part of their beingness, and no judgment because we all have our own stuff. But whatever that is, that darker, lower vibrational energy has been around you, and it's causing your heart to be sad. So you might have some boundaries there to protect yourself. I don't feel like there's anything attached or, like demons with fangs or anything, but it just doesn't feel right. So if you can, call the store or go on forheavensakebook.com, look on practitioners and pick my name out, Deanna, and book in tomorrow or Friday if you need the discount, because there's just something there. And then if you do, just remind me that we talked here and what we talked about, so that I can pick up on that. But it's just something's not right there. And it's better not to talk about it on a public platform. Okay. Mwah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close that out. Like I said, don't worry. It's causing you some challenges in having joy in your life, if that makes sense. All right, thank you, Lena, so much for your time. Uh, let's see, Jennifer. Jennifer, if you're still with us, do you have kids? Because it's kind of interesting, Jennifer, when I connect into your energy frequency, I just feel a lot of children around you, joyfully playing, like almost at your knees, sit at your feet. And if you aren't a teacher, or you don't have children, or you're not involved in helping people feel better from their inner childhood wounds, I'm not sure what that is, but it's so lovely. I just want to smile because you have so many beautiful children just right around where you're at. You're welcome, Lena. So I'm not sure how you connect with that, but they're beautiful. They probably make you giggle or smile more than you normally would. And I hear bubbles, like the blowing bubbles. So since it's spring, maybe get yourself some bubbles. So kind of an interesting reading there. Thank you so much. Oh, she says yes. Okay, you do have children around you. Yes, good. Because they are a light to you, and you definitely are a light to them, and thank you for sharing that with me. Okay, Jennifer, I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Let's see who I've got hanging out. Oh, Chelsea says you did. Yay! Good. And Andrea says thank you. You're welcome. And hi to Gabby. Thank you for joining us, Gabby. Let's see if I have any more questions over here. I think that's pretty much it. I know we've been on a while tonight. There was a lot to share that was about the equinox, and the desired outcome is to keep you all up to date on things, in addition to the Akashic records, mixing that up so you can understand how the records work in real time in everyday life. And I think we did a pretty good job of that too. Let's see here. Okay. All right. I don't see any other questions. So just to recap where we're at. The spring equinox is a time of gathering your energy, just like the seeds do before they start to sprout. I know some of them have already sprouted. Depends on where you are in the world. Here in Colorado, things are just starting to grow. I'm sure, down in the lower states, they're already growing. But it's time to gather your strength, your own energy, to cut off energy draining activities, energy draining people, to draw some boundaries with them and work on those things, and then ask yourself, where do you want to be a year from now? What are you working on? What are your spiritual gifts like? Do you see, feel, sense things other people don't? Are you looking to learn to read tarot? Are you wanting to learn how to uh, work with stones? We have so many different readers at For Heaven's Sakes book in Denver, and there's so many varieties. And on the new platform where you can book a practitioner, it tells about each person, and there's a little video, and it's so easy to find. So if you're looking and seeking for quality people, you'll find them there, okay? And that'll tell you what day they're there, and then you can book a session and go in person, or Zoom if you want, or phone, so you can get the help you need. All right, and then we're looking for clarity in our lives right now, healing past wounds. If you've been in denial, if you've been in denial, get it, the river, the Nile, and you're in the boat, you're in denial. Anyway, if you're in denial, do what you can to see what's going on, the truth, the love, and the light about your own life. Okay, it's a huge time for that, and set your course for the future for what you'd like to have. And that's all I have, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that join me every week. It means so much to me to have you aboard. If you're wanting me to answer a particular question, just make sure you get on early, get on the feed. And again, I apologize. I have 3 different monitors because I've got 3 different places that I'm broadcasting simultaneously. And I have now 2 different internet connections because one of the internet connections wasn't strong enough to carry all my devices. So now I have another one. I'm just trying to get them all hooked up before I get on. So anyway, all right, Lena, she says, you're right about what you said. It's good to hear. I am so glad to hear that, Lena. And thank you for your stars that you sent. I really appreciate it. Laura, looks like you jumped on here just a minute ago. Laura, if you're still there, can you say yes in the chat, and I'll go ahead and give you a reading before I wrap up. I'm sorry I didn't see you till just now. Okay. Laura, I'm not seeing you in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up everything. Anyway, big hugs to everybody. And, I'd like to come on and do these for you with music playing, but there's the weird thing about they cut your video off if they hear music in your video and you don't have the license for it and all that stuff. So, woot, 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 woot. It's a spring equinox. Woot, 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 woot. Mwah. Big hugs and kisses. I will see you soon. And tune in next week. We'll be here as far as I know.